Tonight, a major new development that could put the infamous Menendez brothers on a path to freedom. California Governor Gavin Newsom ordering the parole board to take up their case.
The question for the board is a rather simple one. Do Eric and Lyle Menendez, do they pose a current, what we call unreasonable risk to public safety?
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. Today, Governor Newsom announced that he is directing the parole board to begin what's called a risk assessment investigation for the Menendez brothers, who are serving life sentences for the murders of their parents. That assessment is supposed to be completed within 90 days, and it's considered a key step in a process that could ultimately lead to clemency. On a separate legal front, the brothers have also been pushing for a new trial or for resentencing. Eric and Lyle Menendez have been in prison for nearly 35 years after being convicted of killing their parents inside their Beverly Hills home in 1989. They claim they acted in self-defense after years of sexual abuse. Governor Newsom used a new podcast to lay out details of how the parole board's investigation will play out.
Risk assessment will be conducted as they typically are conducted by experts in public safety as well as forensic psychologists. We're going to make the findings, by the way, available to the judges presiding over the resentencing motion in LA Superior Court, as well, of course, to the district attorney himself. There's no guarantee of outcome here. My office conducts dozens and dozens of these clemency reviews on a consistent basis, but this process simply provides more transparency, which I think is important in this case.
Governor Newsom says he will not make a clemency decision until Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman finishes his own review of the case. Relatives who want to see the Menendez brothers released postponed a news conference that they had planned for today. They were expected to discuss an announcement that District Attorney Nathan Hochman made last week. The DA said he opposes the brothers' request for a new trial, but is still considering whether to support resentencing.
The issue is what is going on in Eric and Lyle's head at the time they shotgunned their parents 12 times to their death. Are they again have an actual fear of imminent harm and death, that their parents were going to kill them that night? Or was it a willful, premeditated, and deliberate act on their part?
It's unclear when the family may reschedule that news conference planned for today. The family has already issued a written statement on the district attorney's position, saying, quote, to suggest that the years of abuse couldn't have led to the tragedy in 1989 is not only outrageous, but also dangerous. To say it played no role in Eric and Lyle's action is to ignore decades of psychological research and basic human understanding. For more perspective, I talked earlier with TMZ's Charles Ladaboudiere, who's been closely following this case. He believes the LA County DA's recent statements put pressure on Governor Newsom to act.
He really kind of painted Governor Newsom in a corner, because during the news conference and when he was on TMZ Live, Nathan Hochman reminded everyone, look, this is what I'm deciding right now. But remember, the governor could step in at any point and let them out, and he's not doing it. So it's almost like he was either daring the governor to make a move, or he was using the governor to support his position that they shouldn't get a new trial. And essentially what Governor Newsom has done here, two things, is sped up the process for them to find out if they're going to get out. And also, it's kind of rendered this resentencing hearing that was scheduled for next month, it's kind of rendered that obsolete, in that regardless of what the judge decides, whether or not they should be resentenced, Governor Newsom has already put this case in the hands of the parole board.
DA Hochman is expected to announce whether he will support the resentencing effort by the Menendez brothers sometime in the next couple of weeks, and we will, of course, continue to closely follow the case.
We wish to keep everyone who is doing a job that is essential and doing that job well. But if the job is not essential, or they're not doing the job well, they obviously should not be on the public payroll.
He may not be a cabinet member, but Elon Musk showed up to President Trump's first cabinet meeting today, outlining his goals for the Department of Government Efficiency, which he's running as part of Musk's cost-cutting crusade. Today, a memo was sent out to agency and department heads with a tight deadline to submit how those groups will plan for coming cuts. KTVU's Janet Katsuyama has the details tonight on how these layoffs could be felt all across the country.
The memo sent out to all department and agency heads Wednesday orders them to prepare to initiate large-scale reductions in their workforce and submit plans by March 13th. It is the latest move by President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, led by billionaire Elon Musk, who brandished a chainsaw at a recent public appearance. He's imposing sweeping cuts that have already led to tens of thousands of workers being laid off or asked to leave. The department's website is posting the data online and on Musk's own social media company, X. Wednesday's memo follows a chaotic weekend when workers received an email from an unknown server with Trump and Musk telling federal workers to list 5 tasks they worked on or be terminated.
Well, it's somewhat voluntary, but it's also if you don't answer, I guess you get fired.
That's not legal. There's certain avenues within civil service protection laws that management must follow if they want to end the employment of a federal employee.
The National Federation of Federal Employees says the terminations are illegal, and they plan to fight them in court with other federal unions and file mass grievances.
By dismantling the government, they're undermining Congress's order to make sure that Americans are met with certain services.
Wednesday's memo does exclude President Trump's office, as well as certain departments and agencies, including the military, law enforcement, national security, border security, immigration, and the U.S. Postal Service. Among Americans, there is uncertainty and differing opinions about the impact of the proposed massive layoffs.
Well, I think many of us agree that the federal government is too big. We can't support it under the amount of revenue that we have.
I feel like it's just going to be a sad domino effect that once you get rid of that position, this position, is going to be just a bunch of chaos.
In Oakland, Janet Katsuyama, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Tonight, there is confusion and concern at Seattle's VA hospital as reports have surfaced that federal agencies are seeing major spending cuts. The General Services Administration confirmed that the Department of Government Efficiency put a $1 spending cap on government employee credit cards, which are used by the VA for daily expenses. However, the VA says it has worked out an agreement in which its credit cards will not have that dollar cap. This comes as 1,400 VA workers were laid off yesterday nationwide. Washington State Congressman Adam Smith says cutting dollars to the VA hurts patients immediately.
Seattle VA pretty soon, is like tomorrow, is going to have to start canceling procedures for veterans because Elon Musk is randomly firing people and devastating the services to American people, and now to our veterans, to deny them the health care that they earned and deserved.
A Veterans Affairs representative did not answer when asked if any impact or what, if any, impact this confusion had before that agreement was reached with the VA. Well, Tesla is starting to feel the backlash from this effort to slash federal spending, with many protesters taking issue with the actions of CEO Elon Musk. Company sales have been down since Musk became one of President Trump's closest advisors. Fox 13's Lauren Donovan has more tonight from Seattle on the political pushback Tesla is facing.
We've seen it here and at the South Lake Union store as well. Clear retaliation against Elon Musk and Cybertruck Tesla owners. They tell me they're seeing it on the road too. They're getting flipped off, some even screamed at. But have tensions gotten so hot that we're at the point where people are actually lighting the cars on fire? Tesla burns to a crisp. That's the caption on this now viral video of a charred Model 3. Poster Seattle Submissions writing it was spotted in Northgate. So I turned to Seattle Fire for answers. SFD reports the Tesla caught fire just before 4:30 in the morning this past Saturday, telling me investigators determined the fire was intentionally set.
I am surprised it's getting as hot as it is. I didn't think it would turn to violence, and I didn't think vandalism.
a crescendo of chaos.
Elon Musk built his fortune on Tesla, and that he's using that to attack our democracy.
Even in the Emerald City, where Tesla's just surpassed Subaru as the most overrepresented car, protesters hold signs reading "Arrest Musk" and "Fund Fascism, Find Out" in front of the South Lake Union Tesla store. This very same location was vandalized twice already.
The idea of people vandalizing vehicles, if my kids are in the car or whatever, I think it's very problematic.
That's Seth Weintraub, publisher of Electrek, an online outlet covering the rise of electric vehicles since 2013. And right now, they're covering backlash towards the Tesla brand. This article highlighting big turnout for a protest here in our own backyard, the University Village store. But it's not just in Washington. As many as 200 showed up for a demonstration down in Fort Lauderdale.
People associate Tesla with Elon Musk. So now that people are upset with Elon Musk.
Seth says across the ocean, there's already evidence the brand is struggling.
Big time in Europe. Tesla isn't very transparent with their numbers, so we won't find out exactly how high or low the sales decline is.
Flip through an American history book and you'll see you've seen this kind of boycott before. The Boston Tea Party, the Whiskey Rebellion. Then in the 1980s, American auto workers smashed a Toyota in protest.
Elon Musk is today's big pariah.
And he predicts all that alienation will hurt Elon's pockets, recalling a recent conversation with a Tesla spokesperson who told him,
"This is the best time to get a Tesla because nobody's buying them. Everybody's upset and Tesla's desperate to make sales."
Let's talk again, though, about that burnt up Tesla in Northgate. So according to Seattle police, the fire marshal determined that the fire began within the Tesla's glove box. As for what Tesla is saying about this, I've reached out to them for comment, but we have not heard back. Reporting in Seattle, Lauren Donovan, Fox 13 News.
Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a disturbing discovery at the end of a Southern California police pursuit. What officers found inside the trunk of the car they were chasing.
And in weather, here is our live camera in Phoenix. Temperatures still in the lower 80s, a warm weather pattern for parts of the West Coast. And we'll have the update coming up after the break.
Also coming up tonight, a man captures incredible video as an avalanche closes in on him and his father during a snowmobiling trip. See how he picked up his camera again after the pair managed to dig themselves out of all that snow.
I got pushed. You can't even see my sled. And you definitely can't see Ryan's.
Oh my. Oh!
Cameras captured some terrifying moments for a father and son snowmobiling in Utah. An avalanche started on Saturday as Ryan Pullman rode down a steep mountainside south of Park City. His son Dodge was recording before both of them got buried in snow. Dodge grabbed his camera once again after freeing himself and his dad.
Okay, by crazy turn of events, we caused a big avalanche. I got pushed. You can't even see my sled. And you definitely can't see Ryan's. I just dug him out. He's sitting right there catching his breath, but from the looks of it, we're okay.
Ryan Pullman did fracture his pelvis and suffered internal bleeding. Emergency crews airlifted him to a hospital where he underwent surgery. Dodge says his father is on track, though, to make a full recovery, which is good to hear. Another avalanche in Washington had rescuers racing up Mount St. Helens. Newly released images posted online show crews reaching 3 snowmobilers last week. One of the snowmobilers triggered an avalanche when he accidentally drove into an area called Shoestring Gully. That rider suffered minor injuries. Another rider suffered a significant leg injury. The third snowmobiler was not hurt and called for help. This entire rescue lasted more than 8 hours. Police in Southern California made a gruesome discovery at the end of a pursuit. As Fox 5's Jennifer Franco explains tonight, officers found a body in the trunk of the car they were chasing.
Cajon police are investigating after receiving a call from a witness about a possible kidnapping off Madison and Magnolia Avenues just before 5 Tuesday night.
Officers responded to the area and located the suspect vehicle, which is a black Hyundai Sonata. They attempted a traffic stop on the vehicle, and the driver fled.
Police say a chase went through Spring Valley and then back to El Cajon on the 8 freeway. The driver eventually crashed into 2 other cars on the off-ramp of Mollison Avenue. The man driving the car had to be tased before being arrested.
The suspect's in custody. Our investigations in our lab are going to be processing for any evidence on the suspect.
While searching the suspect car, police found a 51-year-old woman dead in the trunk. Police say they're investigating any sort of relationship between the driver and the woman found dead, although the cause of her death is still undetermined. Detectives are also looking into whether there's any connection to a nearby Motel 6.
So we got a call from a local motel in the area of Madison and Mollison. We're not releasing information on where the call came from at this point.
And El Cajon police say the other drivers involved in this crash were uninjured. That's the very latest from here in El Cajon. I'm Jennifer Franco. I'll send it back to you in studio.
A suspect has been arrested in connection with a decades-old cold case in Honolulu. 66-year-old Gideon Castro is accused of sexually assaulting and strangling 16-year-old Dawn Momohara back in 1977. Police say they used new advances in DNA technology to connect Castro to the case. They had interviewed Castro and his brother back in 1977, but they were unable to link him to the case at the time. The suspect has been living in Utah all these years, and today he agreed to be extradited to Hawaii.
Mill Creek Investigations Unit of the Unified Police Department of Greater Salt Lake located and arrested Gideon in a nursing home for murder in the second degree.
The suspect's lawyer says he intends to fight those charges. Shifting now to talk about our weather here in the West, and it was quite a scene in Southern California this morning. Time-lapse video posted online shows the fog rolling into the Los Angeles area early this morning. It was so thick that at times it reduced visibility in some of the coastal areas to less than 1 mile. For more, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Mark Tamayo, who is tracking the conditions all across the West. Mark?
Hi there, Alex. Yeah, once that fog cleared on out, lots of sunshine and some warm temperatures. Parts of Southern California in the 80s today. Look at Palm Springs in the 90s this afternoon. So this is the end of February. We're talking about 80s and 90s. Tomorrow they could actually have some gusty winds increasing from the north to northeast. So you can see some 70s for other portions of California. So it's still a warm day. You can see the satellite, all because we have this, the upper level wind pattern, a big ridge of high pressure keeping the clouds up to our north, but also setting up that warming pattern, and that's what we have for today. This was Seattle, showing you some cloud cover out there, a temperature of right around 60 degrees with partly to mostly cloudy skies. In San Francisco, showing you this, some sunshine looking out toward Golden Gate Park and out toward Ocean Beach. A beautiful day with temperatures right around 70 degrees. And look at Phoenix in the clear, and temperatures back up into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. That was a high of 89 degrees. Current numbers out there right now, it's 66 degrees in Las Vegas, Los Angeles 53, San Francisco 63, and a pair of 56 for Portland and Seattle. Here is the plan for tomorrow. As you can see, we have a system out here in the Pacific, but a sun cloud mix for Seattle, partly sunny for San Francisco, temperatures back up into the 70s, and more sunshine for Denver, also out toward Southern California and Arizona. Temperatures in these areas down in Southern California, also approaching Phoenix, will be approaching the lower 80s. So here's the forecast model. It will bring in some high clouds for portions of California. This is for your Thursday. And then as we take this into your Friday, we will begin to cool things off for your Friday forecast. Into the weekend, this is Saturday, and we'll definitely bring in a lot of cloud cover for Northern California. And by Saturday, late afternoon into the evening hours, there's the possibility of some scattered rain showers approaching San Francisco. So here is the game plan over the next 3 days for Seattle. They will pick up a sun cloud mix, temperatures in the lower 60s. San Francisco, another warm day, but we will begin to cool things off for Friday and into Saturday. And once again, by Saturday Saturday night. There could be a few raindrops approaching the Bay Area. It's a warm day for Los Angeles tomorrow. As you can see, tomorrow probably the warmest day in the 80s. And same story for Phoenix Thursday and Friday. Those readings back up into the lower 80s with some cooling by the weekend. But just amazing how it's the last few days of February. We should be talking about winter storm warnings and maybe some more snowfall. We're actually talking about some 80s and maybe a few spots approaching the lower 90s in this forecast, at least as we head into your Thursday.
Yeah, just incredible how warm it's been.
Yeah.
Mark, thank you. Yeah. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, airplane parts as art. Tonight, see how they're taking center stage in Las Vegas. Also, AI starts transforming the way some small businesses are operating here in the West. Parts of a 747 airplane that once rolled across the playa at Burning Man in the Nevada desert have now made their way across the city of Las Vegas to a new home at a newly expanded arts and entertainment district, what's known as Area 15. The plane had been stored at a racetrack just north of Las Vegas until today, when a police escort and semi-truck moved a section of the fuselage to its new home.
Area 15 does. We like to bring things that does not exist to Vegas, and so this is another one of those things that does not exist that we're bringing to light. We just want to really celebrate the arts community and try to find immersive and experiential ways. We're open for everybody. We want families, friends, partners, just to have a really good time here, and I think that this airplane will be one of those really special places.
And Area 15 officials say that guests could be inside of that plane as soon as this fall. AI is overhauling the way some small businesses turn a profit. Fox's Kennedy Hayes shows us the technology in action in Denver.
Well, he's the head of a thrift store startup here in Denver. He says he's created an AI-powered scanner that drastically cuts the time it takes to tag inventory from 20 minutes to 2.
The ability to price based on brand, location, size, color, like AI unlocks those doors for us.
Andy Downard is the CEO of Thriftly. He says it is not easy sorting through this sea of pants, tops, and shoes. Thrift stores like his get tons of donations every week.
Hours and hours and hours we're pricing. What are the shortcuts where we can do it faster, but at the same time have a machine, a computer with AI behind it, really provide meaningful assistance with the pricing?
To speed up the pricing process, Downard invented this AI device. A simple scan reads an item's category, brand, and size, then answers the question, what are similar items selling for, before printing a price.
It comes out with the right price, the right size.
A survey last year found 69% of small businesses are using AI, up from 56% in 2023. The woman who runs Goldman Sachs Corporate Engagement says AI offers two main benefits.
Category 1 is saving small business owners time. You and I know that time is everything to a small business owner. And that second category is saving them money. Our small business owners pay themselves last, and so saving money is critical.
Downard says since the scanner helps work move along faster, he's able to pay even his entry-level employees above minimum wage.
A typical thrift store, they're producing between 40 and 70 pieces per hour. We think we can take that number over 100. And we're seeing early signals that that's actually an opportunity.
Downard said it only takes minutes to train employees on the AI scanner. Some other ways small businesses are using AI include writing blogs and screening job applications. In Denver, Kennedy Hayes, Fox News.
A lot of small businesses benefiting from this new technology. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. Have a great night.
Just moving a little